Find all real numbers x which satisfy the equation 9 to the power of x plus 6 to the power of x equals 2 to the 2x plus 1. The first thing you should be able to notice is this equation uses numbers such as 3 to the x and 2 to the x. For example, 9 to the x is the same thing as 3 to the x times 3 to the x because of this rule. 3 times 3 to the x is the same thing as 3x times 3x. Makes sense, right? So 9x is the same thing as this. 6x is the same thing as 3x times 2x. And 2 to the 2x plus 1. This one's a bit hard. I'm going to split it into 2 to the 2x and then times 2 because of this rule. All these indice laws. So it's the same thing as this, and 2 to the 2x is the same thing as 2x to the power of 2, according to this law. So, using all these laws, let's rewrite this equation. Let's say let 3 to the power of x equal a, and let 2 to the power of x equal b. So 9 to the x is the same thing as 3 to the x times 3 to the x, so a squared, right? And then plus 6 to the x, which is the same thing as 3 to the x times 2 to the x, which is ab. And this equals 2 to the x squared, so b squared, times 2, so 2b squared. So now we get this equation. Let's move all the variables to one side to try and factorize this. And we can factorize this by splitting the ab like so. And then we can factor out the a, and then factor out negative b. Then we can factor out a plus 2b, and we get this all factorized into this. Now this gives us two values. It's either a equals b, or it's either a equals negative 2b. Why? Is because when two things multiply to equal 0, one of them have to equal 0, right? So let's say we let a minus b equal 0, then a equals b, and that's how we get these final values. Now, remember what a and b is. Remember, a is 3 to the x, and b is 2 to the x. And any positive number taken to any power, any real power, any positive number taken to a real power remains positive. So a and b have to both be non-negative. Okay, so that means a equals negative 2b won't work, because that means either a or b has to be negative, but remember, they both are positive. So a equals b is the only solution. So 3x equals 2x. And obviously, everyone can see x equals 0 is the solution. But if we divide both sides, we can finish this off a bit more cleanly. And here we can see x equals 0 is the solution, because anything raised to the 0 equals 1. So all real numbers x equals 1 is the only solution. A very quick, nice algebra question.